Good evening, fellow classmates. This is our Chapter 10, Lesson 3, Length, Area, and Volume presentation by me, Faith Bratton, Chelsea, Alyssa, and Heather. Alyssa, how many jiggers are in a jill?
That's a good question. Well, to find the answer, we need to look at what we already know. So we know that 2 jiggers equals 1 jack, and 2 jack equals 1 jill. Now, how do we find that out to figure out how many jiggers equals a jill? Well, you're going to take 1 jack. If 2 jiggers equals 1 jack and 2 jacks equals 1 jill, we can conclude that there are 4 jiggers and 1 jill because all we're doing is multiplying the 2 jiggers by 2 jacks. And that's it. Hey, Heather, how many mouthfuls equals a cup?
Okay, so I'm also going to use a pictorial to show this. So you have 1 mouthful, so I've got 8 here, which is going to equal 1 jill. And 1 jill is half of a cup, so you have 16 mouthfuls is going to equal 1 cup.
Hey, Faith, how do you find the perimeter of a triangle?
Okay, so that's a great question. How do we find the perimeter of a triangle? Okay, the perimeter of a triangle is when you have 3 side lengths and you add them together to find the perimeter. The formula for finding the perimeter is very simple. You just add up all the sides, and the formula is A plus B plus C equals P, and P being the perimeter. On this triangle, we see that we have 3 sides, one being 82.3, the other being 69.0, and 48.0. To find the perimeter, we just add up all the sides to get 199.3 to be the perimeter of this triangle. Hey, Chelsea, how do you find the area of a triangle?
All right, well, we have this example here of a triangle, and we're going to use a specific formula for a triangle, which is going to be A equals 1/2 times the base times the height. And here you can see if we flip this triangle where the bottom is a flat edge, we have our base of 88.8 inches. Then our height is going to be the one moving or going vertical. It's going to be the 37 inches. And so if we plug that into our formula, 1/2 times base times the height, we're going to get 1,642.8 inches squared. And it'll be squared because we're multiplying an inch times an inch. So it will be squared. Hey, Alyssa, what is the formula for finding the area of a triangle? And can you give us an example?
Sure can. So first, let's start with that formula. So the area equals 1/2 base times height, which I have listed right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at that example on this next slide. All right, so here we have a triangle, and we have the area equals 1/2 times base times height. So our area is going to be 1/2 times 6.2 times 2.6, because let's disregard that 3.1 centimeter for right now because we had to extend that line. So our area for this is actually going to be 8.6 centimeters squared. Hey, Heather, how do you find the area of a triangle? Can you go over it with us some more?
Okay, so if you look at the triangle here, and you actually have 2 triangles put into it. We're just going to look at the right triangle. And so your equation is going to be area equals 1/2 times base times height. And your base is going to be 82.3 meters. And your height is going to be 41.0 meters. So you're not really going to look at that slant. So you're going to plug those in, and you'd have 1/2 of 82.3 times 41.0. So your area is going to equal 1,687.15 meters squared because you're multiplying them together. Faith, how do you find the area of a triangle?
That is a great question. Okay, to find the area of a triangle, we have a 3-solid polygon that gets that we have the base by the height multiplied and divided by 2 to find the area. We use the formula A equals 1/2 times base times height. We let the base of the triangle with this given triangle be 88.8 inches and the area or the altitude to be 37.0 inches. Because the base and the altitude are in inches, we will use the area with square inches. To do this, we will use the formula given. A equals 1/2 times 88.8 inches times 37.0 inches to give us the area of 1,642.8 inches squared. Hey, Chelsea, what is the perimeter and how do you find it?
So the perimeter is going to be just all of the sides added together. So you're just trying to find how much space is going around the figure. So for this one, we're going to add all three sides, which is 48.0 meters, 69.0 meters, and 82.3 meters. So if we just plug that into that formula, then we're going to get 199.3 meters. Hey, Alyssa, what is the formula for finding the perimeter of a triangle? And can you give us an example?
Sure can. So let's start with that formula. Here I have just a basic Googled example. So perimeter equals A plus B plus C, which is all the sides. So let me go ahead and give you a more detailed example on this next slide. So here we have that triangle I used before, but this time we're going to find the perimeter of it. So we know perimeter equals A plus B plus C. Now, the definition of perimeter is the continuous line forming the boundary of a closed geometric figure. So once we know our formula, the A plus B plus C, we can look at this triangle. So the sides are going to measure at 3.1, 8.5, and 6.2. And once you add them all together, your perimeter is going to be 17.8 centimeters. Hey, Heather, how do you find the area of a larger circle?
Okay, so looking at the example here, we have two circles and a square. So the sides of each square is 10 units. So for the smaller circle, your radius is going to be 5 because it's half of the side of the square. Now the equation you're going to use is A equals pi r squared. So pi times the radius squared. And since we know the radius is 5, we're going to use that in the other equation when we use the Pythagorean theorem. So we're going to have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we're going to put 5 in for a and b. So you'll have 5 squared plus 5 squared equals r squared, which gives us 25 plus 25. So it's 50 equals r squared. Now all you're going to do is you're going to take your 50 and replace that for the r squared in the a equals pi r squared. So your area for the larger circle is going to be 50 pi units squared. So Faith, how do you find the surface area?
To find the surface area of a solid, the figure can be broken down into a cylinder and two hemispheres. Then we notice that the hemisphere can be added to make a sphere. Okay, the equation we will use to find the surface area is S equals 4 pi r squared, as you can see. Next, we will find the lateral area of the cylinder. That the cylinder can be flattened out into a rectangle where the length of the rectangle is the perimeter of the cylinder, and with the width is the height. The equation for the lateral area of the cylinder is, as you can see, oh my gosh, where did it go? Okay, there we go. It is S equals 4 pi r squared. Okay, wait, no, it's 2 pi r squared, where the radius is r and the h is the length of the cylinder. To find the surface area, we're going to add these two formulas together, as shown, to equal for the surface area 729 feet squared. Hey, Chelsea, how do you find out how much space is in between the two circles?
So first we're going to look at the actual figure given, and we can see that there's a larger circle, then a square, and then within that square we have another smaller circle. So first we need to start out by finding out the length of the sides of the square, and that we have a 10. So first what we're going to do is find the radius of the square, and the radius is going to be half of that diameter across the circle, which is 10. So our radius is going to be 5. And next, what we're going to do is we're going to find the area of the smaller circle. And to do that, we're just going to take that radius and square it and then multiply it by pi. So we'll have pi r squared, which will give us pi 5 times 2, or 5 squared. And then we're going to find the radius of the larger circle. And for that one, we're going to use the Pythagorean theorem. We're going to have a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And the a and the b are going to be our radius. So we're just going to